Hey guys, welcome back to L'Amour La Musique. This was initially supposed to be a 0 to 3 month newborn essentials video. Baby L'Amour is now almost 9 months old and I'm just getting around to doing this video. It's the third in a 3-part series of Baby L'Amour videos I did. The first was on my pregnancy essentials. The second was on my postpartum healing recovery essentials. And now I want to do a baby specific video. The thing is, now that Baby L'Amour is almost 9 months old, it was very hard to make this list because I was like, oh, this. It would have been much more contained if it had been 0 to 3 months. However, I still am just going to focus on newborn, which is 0 to 3 or 4 months. Then you start getting into things like teething and introducing solids and sleep related stuff. So that's all too much for this video. What I am going to cover though is primarily products based. I want to share with you my favorite products in several different categories: clothing, bath and body, or diapering, feeding but not solids, breastfeeding or bottle feeding. And I'm not going to be getting into breastfeeding stuff in this video. I actually did a patron exclusive video. I think I was 3 or 4 months postpartum and I talked about my struggle with breastfeeding, how we kind of ended up getting breastfeeding and pumping to work for us. So I'm not going to be getting into any of that here, but I'll give a couple of different feeding essentials. And then I have a miscellaneous category, which is just going to be things like car seat, stroller, baby monitor, toys, carriers, things like that. Before we get into the products in this video, I just want to say a huge thank you to the L'Amour patrons over on Patreon who are supporting the production of this video and all L'Amour content. If you would like to become a patron and support L'Amour content creation, both via video and invest in future forms of content that I'm working on, most notably a podcast, you can go to patreon.com/L'Amour La Musique, all one word. There are different tiers of support, and with that comes different levels of bonus content. For reference, I will have everything I talk about listed and linked below, links to the exact products that we have and that I love and that have worked for us. Why don't we start with clothing? It's not, I guess, the most exciting category, at least it hasn't necessarily been for me, but I do have a couple of favorite brands. I was actually very minimal when I was pregnant in terms of what I stocked up on and bought. I was not one of those people who had a fully curated dresser or closet or like anything. We ended up buying a lot of things as we went. The first couple months of having a baby, if you don't have Amazon Prime, I would highly recommend it because especially that first month, I just felt like we had packages coming every day because there's just a lot of stuff you can't fully anticipate and every baby is different too. So I don't actually think it necessarily even behooves you to, I don't know, go crazy at the outset because you just don't really know what you're gonna need. The thing is, you also don't know what size your baby's going to be. Some babies skip the newborn clothes and diapers completely and go right into the 0 to 3 month stuff. Baby L'Amour was 3 weeks early and 6 pounds 11 ounces or 14 ounces. I actually can't remember. I think it was 6 pounds 11 ounces at birth. So still small enough to fit into newborn clothes. And I think we were in newborn stuff for maybe the first month. This is very basic, but I really like the Gerber organic onesies. This also depends if you have what season your baby is born in is going to determine what you have. So I had a baby in November, so the newborn stage was going to be over the winter. Knowing that, you want to buy everything long sleeve. If you're having a baby in the spring or summer, you're going to want to buy all of your newborn stuff in short sleeve. So the Gerber organic onesies are great. You can get them at Target. They're like $7 or $8 for a 3 or 4 pack. And I got a mix, I think, of over the head onesies as well as kimono style. The kimono style is actually, I think, easier when they're really teeny, just because they seem so fragile and putting things over the head, especially if it's your first baby, is sort of like stress inducing. H&M does really great baby clothes and they have a line called the Conscious line, which I think is all organic cotton, and they do a lot of kimono style snap onesies. So those are just kind of staples. And then what I would do is I would do a long sleeve onesie and a pair of footed pants because when they're super little, I don't think you really want to be dealing with socks. At least I didn't really want to be dealing with socks. So H&M does these really, they look like little Smurf pants, or I think Cobb used to call them, no, he used to call, or still does call, little onesie singlets, like a wrestling singlet. So I just found those to be way, way easier. Now, if you're having a baby in the summer, you could probably get away with just a long sleeve onesie and no pants. But the thing is, babies in the beginning, especially if they're early, they can tend to have some body temperature issues because they don't have enough brown fat on their bodies yet. So I think it behooves you to keep newborn babies like pretty warm. Okay, I guess I should have also said, just because I feel like you have to say this on YouTube, none of what I am mentioning here is medical advice. Always consult with your pediatrician for your own baby's needs in any of these categories. You would think that that's common sense, but I guess you kind of have to say it. The other essential thing I think for a newborn baby are sleep gowns. These are so handy when they're very little. So it's different than a sleep sack, but it's just, they usually have long sleeves and like a little elastic. I don't have any. All of my newborn baby stuff is up in storage, and I was not gonna get it all out. One of my favorite brands for sleep gowns and footed pajamas is the brand Loved Baby. They do, it's all organic. The stuff is a little bit more expensive. Another nice brand for footed PJs, they didn't really work for us, but a lot of people like the Kiki Pants PJs. It depends on if your baby runs cool or warm. Baby L'Amour now actually runs really warm, especially at night. So the Kiki Pants PJs were just too, I don't know, something about the fabric was just too uncomfortable and too warm. Now that it's summertime, baby just sleeps in a short sleeve, you know, white. We've now transitioned to the brand Cloud Island. They also do nice onesies, because I think the Gerber organic ones don't go up to 12 month, or maybe they do. But we're using these Cloud Island short sleeve onesies for sleep. Keep in mind, my baby is almost 9 months old. We're just starting to get baby to sleep overnight in the crib, which to date has not been used. We've been doing a mix of mostly co-sleeping in bed sharing and pack and play in the room, but the pack and play is very uncomfortable, even with an additional separate mattress that I bought. So I'm actually having way more success getting baby to sleep in the crib now. Baby sleep is probably a whole other video topic. Sleep training is not for us. I know it's a very divided issue. I am more of the mindset to let baby develop the independence to sleep and self-soothe when it's developmentally appropriate, and not trying to impose a training schedule or teach baby to self-soothe, which is very, very popular right now. That's a totally separate topic. I really like Burt's Bees. They do some very, very nice organic baby clothes. More recently, I really love the brand Kate Quinn Organics. They do some beautiful, very comfortable bamboo baby clothes that I love, and they do say, I got a bunch of stuff on sale recently. That might be it for clothes. I guess the only other thing I would say is having a sleep sack or a baby Merlin a sleep suit is nice. So when babies are really little, they have something called, it's like a startle reflex, or it's called like I think it's called the Moro reflex. So what happens is they jolt themselves awake and they feel like they're like falling, so they startle themselves. And all of these sorts of sleep sacks, sleep suits are designed to help them feel contained. So I should also say, we didn't swaddle just because baby was not into it at all. Some babies love it, some babies hate it. So I can't give a lot of good advice on swaddling, but we also came to learn pretty early on, I would say within the first 4 weeks, that our baby really preferred to sleep on the stomach. The American Academy of Pediatrics always recommends back to sleep, but some babies just prefer to sleep on their stomach. And in that case, something like, you can't use the baby Merlin when they sleep, when they're a stomach sleeper, but a sleep sack is really nice. If I remember the brand of winter sleep sack that we have, I'll put it down below, or I'll go find it, because it's, now that it's summer, I've invested in some more lightweight sleep sacks. Aiden and Anais, I think is the brand, does really nice muslin sleep sacks. So these are just, they're sleeveless, baby puts the arms through and they zip all the way down. It's like a wearable blanket, because when they're sleeping independently, you don't want to have blankets or things that could be potential suffocation hazards in the crib. Those are really nice to have, and it's nice to have them for different seasons. Now we move on to what is one of my more favorite categories, which is the bath and body products realm. Now, you can kind of only go so far with a baby because their skin tends to be really sensitive, but we've tried a bunch of stuff. I actually have empty products that I want to tell you about too, because we've gone through quite a bit of stuff. Diaper balm is probably one of the first things that people think of when they think of a baby. So we've tried a couple. I'm still trying to get organized here. You know, the mainstream one is something like Desitin, but I guess that's actually just for diaper rash. The whole diaper balm thing, I still use one. It may not be entirely necessary. Diaper rash usually happens when in the very beginning, babies' digestive systems are just kind of like all over the map. Some babies can poop like 8 or 9 times a day. We were never like that. I think the most we ever had were like maybe 3 or 4, but they can just get very kind of like chapped and chafed and very uncomfortable around there. My number one tip for preventing diaper rash or any sort of irritation down there. We talked about this in the now several years old video that I did with my good friend from Rhode Island, Joanne. We did these 2 videos together, and it was her telling me a lot of her pregnancy and baby type essential products. And the tip she gave me is to wash their little bums under the sink with a gentle baby wash. You don't have to do it after they pee, but I think after they poop, it's really good practice to do. Baby is now over 20 pounds, so it's a little bit difficult, but when they're little, it's pretty easy to do. Diaper balms. I've tried a couple. We've tried the Earth Mama Organic Diaper Balm. This is an empty product. We have gone through a full thing of the Zoe Organics Diaper Balm. For a long time, I called this brand Zoe Organics, but it is actually Zoe Organics. Love this one. And then more recently, I have been working through a jar of the L'Amour Mongolia Baby Balm. Now, it's I'm pretty sure baby and pregnant mom specific eco beauty brand. They sent me these products last fall, and I really, really like this. So I would say this was my least favorite one, the Earth Mama, but it's a really nice travel size. So I actually just ordered another, God guys, so many products here. Earth Mama does this really nice little travel set of products. So if you're planning to do any travel with baby, it comes with a travel body wash, lotion, these are actually empty, oil, and a little organic face balm. So I've used a bunch of this stuff. I actually just ordered another one of these because we're going on a trip in a few weeks. This is a really, really nice travel set of products to have. That said, not my favorite baby balm. My favorite is probably the Zoe Organics, evidenced by the fact that I just bought a brand new one of these. So once I finish the L'Amour Baby Balm, I'm gonna go back to the Zoe, or diaper balm. I'm gonna go back to the Zoe Organics one. I have really liked this L'Amour one though. This might be, you can use it beyond diaper. You could just use it on the skin. The first ingredient in this one is sheep's tallow. So it's really very, very nice. Okay, continuing with my theme of Zoe Organics being one of my favorite brands for baby products, we went through a full bottle of the baby oil, and I just bought another one. Earth Mama also does a baby oil, which I use this up during travel. I really like the Zoe Organics one a little bit better. We give a bath every night. When they're very little, you definitely don't need to, especially if you have a winter baby. They don't need to be getting wet every night like that. But this is a really, if you want to do any kind of infant massage or just as part of a bed and nighttime routine, I love this product. Now for body moisturization, what I will do now is a little bit of body oil, usually just on like the torso and the arms, and then I go over with some sort of balm. Now Baby L'Amour has dry skin, a little bit more sensitive skin, not really eczema, but just sort of like chafing where the little chub rolls are and just kind of overall dry skin. So I actually have gone through a whole thing of Baby Aquaphor. This was pediatrician recommended, and I this is empty. Wasn't having a lot of success with some of the other natural products I was using. So I decided to try this. It works fine. It is a mineral oil petroleum product, so I know that's not ideal for a lot of people. This is the baby version. I don't have an issue using it. It was fine, but before I went back to this, I decided to try the Babo Botanicals Sensitive Baby Healing Ointment. It's like triple the price of the Aquaphor for a much smaller amount, but I've been using, so I moisturize baby's skin morning and night. But again, this is a routine that has really evolved over time. When they're really little, you don't need to do that much at all. I'm just telling you kind of how things have evolved for us. So I like this. I'm not sure I would buy it again for how expensive it is. It does seem to be a little more healing to like the ankle roll chafing that Baby L'Amour gets, a little bit more than the Aquaphor, but honestly both do a good job with helping the skin retain moisture. Another nice product to have around is more of a therapeutic type of ointment, specifically for extra chapped places, or sometimes they'll get like little rashes on their like cheeks and stuff, just if they have like pacifiers, and like when they start drooling and teething, they get a lot of saliva. So I think having a thing of Waxline around is good. This is a natural alternative to a petroleum jelly like Vaseline or Aquaphor. This I tried to use on Baby L'Amour's cradle cap. Baby L'Amour had quite bad cradle cap for probably the first 6 months. It's now pretty much completely gone. I think a lot of babies get it. Baby L'Amour had it like pretty seriously, but it's totally harmless. And if you don't know what it is, they just start getting, it looks like, you know, in Game of Thrones, how Ser Jorah has like grayscale all over him. That's what cradle cap looks like on baby's head. It makes you just want to pick it off, which I did a fair amount of. I felt like a mother monkey who was just like picking at my baby. The number one tip for cradle cap that actually does work if you have the wherewithal to do it is a night before you're going to give a bath and wash hair, you can massage some coconut oil liberally into their scalp and let it sit on there for like 10 or 15 minutes. This is just the Coconut Secret Alive raw extra virgin coconut oil. So when we did this, it did make a difference. And then I don't have it with me, but the brand Frida Baby does a silicone, it's like a cradle cap type of brush with silicone bristles. So after they come out of the bath, you can kind of like brush some of the cradle cap residue off, but it'll just end up going away on its own usually. Now for bath wash, we have again tried a couple. So these are the Earth Mama Sweet Orange baby washes, which are okay. Again, very nice for travel. But the number one that we use is the Zoe Organics. I've gone through 5. I have 5 empty ones of these. You could say we like it quite a bit. Definitely not the most cost effective for how quickly you go through it, but it suds is really nice. It's very gentle. I also recently picked up a Babo Botanicals one, and we don't quite like it as much right now. I think it'll be better when have moved out of the baby bathtub and into just sitting in the regular bathtub. This is really nice in the beginning when you just kind of want to wash their body in a baby bathtub. That's something I didn't think to include on this, but the baby bathtub we have, it was gifted or like a hand-me-down from some friends, but a total game changer for giving a baby a bath is this little foam insert pad that you can put into the baby bathtub, and it just makes it more comfortable so they're not sitting on a hard piece of plastic. It's like $7. It was on our baby registry, but you can get it at like Bed Bath & Beyond, so I'll have that linked below. Totally such a good product to have. Just a couple other things I could mention in this category, not really bath and body, but kind of product related. Just kind of good things to have around at home are infant Tylenol. It's a liquid and you give it to them in like a little syringe, but in case like baby gets a fever or you need it, I think it's just a good thing to have around. Once they're 6 months old, you can switch to ibuprofen. So we haven't even had to use this yet, but sometimes if the teething pain is really, really bad, you can do this, but we haven't had to do that. I just think they're good to have around. But again, ibuprofen after 6 months. This is very, very handy to have. This is the Little Remedies Saline Spray Drops. So in the very beginning, we don't deal with this anymore, but now I'm remembering doing this video when they're really little, like the first couple months, their breathing is just all weird. Like babies are so, their systems are just so immature. The digestion, the respiratory, like they're really not online yet at all. So they make a lot of weird wheezing and breathing, and you just do like a drop or two in each nose. And then I don't have it here, but I recommend picking up something called the Nose Frida by, again, this brand Frida Baby. What it is, so babies will just get phlegm and mucus, and they obviously can't blow it into a tissue. So it's a little suction thing where you put your mouth on one end and there's a tubing that goes into their nose, and you literally suck the snot out of their nose. There's like barriers, so it's not like you're getting the snot in your mouth or anything, but when it's your baby, nothing seems gross. It's very strange. So totally recommend one of those. It can be really helpful to get mucus out of their noses so that they can breathe a little bit easier. I also think we only had to use this, I don't know, a handful of times, but Frida Baby also makes a product called the Windy. Babies can tend to be really, really, really gassy. I think it peaks around 6 weeks. This, you basically lube up and you put in their butt, and it helps relieve pressure. It only worked a couple of times, but the times that it worked, I was really glad we had it. So again, you can see we didn't have to use that many, but I just thought it was really nice to have. In general, I would just go Google Frida Baby and see all the different kinds of products that they make. Okay, lastly in this category, let me quickly talk about baby sunscreen. Although I think that technically they're not supposed to start wearing any sunscreen, mineral or chemical, until after 6 months. But I don't actually know if mineral is precluded from being 6 months. Around 4 months, I started using mineral sunscreens on the baby because we were going to Florida and I wanted to have the sun protection. My absolute favorite brand for baby sunscreen is Babo Botanicals. These products are amazing. They are not cheap, but they're very, very good. So we have the Sheer Zinc sunscreen, which is an aerosol, the Clear Zinc sunscreen SPF 30, which is a liquid, and then more recently I just got the Baby Face Mineral Sunscreen Stick. These are both 30 and this is 50. This is really, really good for the face. They can be, baby Lamore is very temperamental about having sunscreen on the face. The rest of the body is totally fine. This is probably my least favorite of the three. It's extremely liquidy and sort of hard to apply, but this one is fantastic. I don't spray it directly on. I just spray it into my hand and then apply. But I love this. I use these on me too, actually, now. So I think they're a really good family sunscreen. I feel like we could just stop here. This is like so much. How am I gonna keep getting through this? Okay, let's quickly talk about diapering. So I decided not to cloth diaper. In my ideal world, maybe I would have, but since it was my first baby and my priority was more on learning to breastfeed and that whole realm of things, and I kind of cut myself a break with the diapering. So if you want to use disposable diapers, in the very beginning, we really liked the Pampers Pure. I would recommend having newborn and like size 1 diapers around. Yeah, you'll grow into the size 1s eventually, but I do think it's nice to have at least a pack of newborn diapers around because I think most babies can fit into them. We ended up needing newborn diapers, like I'm saying, for the first 4 to 6 weeks. So Pampers Pure, now I really, really like, and what we've been using since probably month 3, we found the Cloud Island diapers that Target does. I think it's a private label Target line called Cloud Island. Anyway, I really like their diapers. They're very absorbent. And we tried like the natural versions of Pampers, and I think Huggies does a natural version. I also tried some of the more alternative diaper brands like Andy Pandy, and they're just frankly not as good. The Cloud Island are really the best that I found. Now for wipes, I have 3 different kinds, which I know seems a little bit extra. Initially, I had just wanted to use water wipes, but these are actually not, in my opinion, great for butt wiping. You kind of need something that has like a little bit more to it, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. These don't feel super thorough for a butt wipe, but maybe they do for you, and that's fine. And also, they don't fit in the wipe warmer that I did not buy, but that we were gifted, and that now I really like and think is a very nice to have product. It's the Hiccapop, I think is called, wipe warmer. The water wipes don't fit in it though. The kinds that they recommend are actually these Kirkland ultra soft baby wipes that you get at Costco. So again, not something I would have gotten, but my in-laws have a Costco membership and they bring us boxes of these wipes. So you're just kind of like, okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna fight that. The water wipes I use for wiping down mouth and face after feeding, but obviously that comes much later, after like 6 months. But these are a really nice product to have. And then my favorite travel wipes are these, I think these are a 30 pack, 30 wipes, the 7th generation free and clear. I've tried other different travel wipe packs, and some of them come like 10 wipes to a pack, which honestly, if you've ever seen a blowout diaper, you can use an entire pack of travel wipes on just 1 diaper cleanup. So I like these, and I get these at Target. As far as a diaper bag, because I'm sure I'll probably get that question, I really didn't want to buy one because I think that they are all not attractive. No offense if you have one. And there are some that look kind of cute, but I just don't want to spend over $100 on a freaking diaper bag. So I have made do with my very old, I got this in graduate school, Filson tote bag that's extremely beat up, and my Everlane backpack. So I alternate between throwing my baby stuff in one of the two. So I have a nice travel diaper changing pad, which is a nice to have. This is the brand Cushies. So I just fold this up, and I think it's like a bamboo travel pad. A lot of times I just change the baby's diaper, open the trunk of the car and do it back there. But this is, you know, if you're gonna change baby in restaurant or something or wherever, nice to have. And then I do have like a little diaper bag, I guess, like organizer, just like for actual diapers and stuff. This is from the brand Stork. So I always keep like plastic bags in case I need to throw a diaper in here. Diapers, we're in size 4 diapers now. I keep a little diaper balm, although I never use it. And then I keep some, oh, this is like a sterile saline wipe. I don't know why that's in there. A little hand sanitizer wipe, I guess, is in here. I have a bunch of those hand sanitizer wipes. I actually also use a hand sanitizer spray. It's nice to have, and my favorite for that is the Intelligent Nutrients Certified Organic Sanitizer. It smells like lemon. Okay, I think that that's it for diapering. Feeding, again, I'm not gonna go at all into breastfeeding. Yeah, just everything about breastfeeding, or if you wanna do formula feeding or a combo or like pumping, I covered all of it in that video. My research into baby formulas and all of that is over there. A couple things I could throw into here. If you are exclusively breastfeeding, they want you to supplement with vitamin D. Again, talk to your pediatrician, but I'm gonna assume that this is like standard practice. These were my favorite brand of vitamin D drops. They're the Baby Drops liquid vitamin D. You can literally put a drop on your nipple. You can put a drop right into baby's mouth. You can put it into a bottle of expressed milk or formula. I think if they're more than half formula fed, you don't have to supplement with vitamin D, but yeah, I don't know, talk to your pediatrician. Some of them, I liked this one because it was just one drop. Some of them you have to use like a dropper full and only fill it up to a certain thing. So I just found these to be easiest. Pacifiers, some babies take them, some babies don't. My favorite brand for that were the MAM, M-A-M pacifiers. They come in like newborn, 0 to 3 month, 6+ month, you know, like all different ages to adjust to the size of their mouth. Baby Lamore loves a pacifier, so I stock up on those. If you are going to do bottle feeding, I don't know, I think even at the outset, I knew that I was gonna wanna pump and have milk in a bottle to give, or formula feed. I didn't really know how it was gonna go. So it's nice to buy a couple different types of bottles because babies will react differently and you don't wanna stock up all on one kind. The very first bottle we ever tried were the Comotomos. Baby loved those, so that's what we use. We also had some Dr. Brown's, which are much more complicated, and I'm glad I didn't have to start using. So Comotomos are great. They're silicone, very easy to clean, and I love them. So I stocked up on those once I knew baby liked them. Favorite dish soap for doing bottles, washing pacifiers, and then later on washing teething toys and things like that is the brand Dapple. This is the Pure and Clean bottles and dishes. I get it in the lavender scent, but I think it also comes unscented. I buy these refill things off of Vitacost. I think they're $8 or $9, and I have like, you just one time can buy the pump bottle and just keep refilling them with this. So I've gone through countless ones of these. And I also love Dapple for baby laundry detergent. Burp cloths, I did feel like this was important to tell you because we've tried a bunch, and the best ones by far, in my opinion, are the Burt's Bees organic burp cloths. I hope this one isn't too stained. It's kind of stained. They're just a really nice size. It's really, if you're doing a bottle feed, it's nice to tuck it in as like a little bib. Baby Lamore was like is still a very big dribbler, and it's just nice to protect the clothes. I bought, I think these come as a 5-pack, and 2 5-packs will do you. I end up doing laundry way less now. In the beginning, I was doing laundry probably like almost every day, minimum every other day. Now I do laundry for the baby, I would say every 3 days, sometimes 4, it really depends. But 2 packs of the Burt's Bees burp cloths should do you. I love these. I think I may have mentioned this in the video on Patreon about breastfeeding, but the Target breast milk storage bags are good. They're the ones that I had and used. Very easy to use, liked them. I do think having a bottle warmer is nice to have. Baby L'Amour will actually take milk at any temperature, but if I can, I prefer to have it at a nice warm temperature just because I think it's easier on the stomach and probably more enjoyable to drink. So I think it's Kinda Cozy is the bottle warmer we have, and it heats even breast milk at a very safe temperature. I just liked the technology of that one better than the other ones I researched, which seemed to be, you know, they heat the bottle very, very quickly, but I don't know, the mechanism for the heating is different. So the Kinda Cozy is just a very gentle heat. It does take a little bit longer, but I've gotten used to it. A lot of people too will just forego a bottle warmer and warm up milk in like a bowl of warm water. I tried that in the beginning and I just decided it was nicer and easier to have a bottle warmer. So again, things like a bottle warmer and a wipe warmer, they're not essential at all, but they really are a nice to have, and we use ours constantly. Now let's power through this miscellaneous category because I get a lot of questions about stuff like this. Car seat and stroller. We ended up going with the Nuna Pipa car seat, which connects into the Pepp stroller. Pepp is the smallest stroller that Nuna does. I really wanted something small, easy to use. I feel like I've talked about this elsewhere, probably on Instagram stories somewhere. I don't know, shopping for a stroller is like shopping for a car. I narrowed it down to a couple of brands that I wanted. Nuna and Cybex were the two brands that I was interested in. I really wanted a European brand because they tend to have, in my opinion, better materials, really good safety standards. The American stuff does too, but also just in terms of the design, the European stuff tends to be a little bit more streamlined and not as bulky as some American stuff. Not always, but we ended up getting a good deal on the Nuna Pipa car seat. They also do a Pipa Light, which is a couple pounds lighter, but the Pipa was on sale from Stroller Rio, which is where we ended up buying ours last summer. We are now out of the infant car seat. All babies will phase out of them at a different point just on how fast they grow. Baby L'Amour sized out of the infant car seat right around 8 months. So we now have the Kleck Flow as our convertible car seat, which is, if you don't know, a convertible car seat stays in the car, whereas the infant car seat comes out from the base that's in the car and you can like click it into the stroller. So the stroller, now that it doesn't take the infant car seat, just has like the regular front facing seat. And that's been working really well for us. Baby monitor. Some people, again, feel like they don't need these. I am paranoid and wanted to have one. So we have the infant optics. This is the part that you take. The actual camera sits like within view of the baby and then you take this part with you. This is fine. It's the only one I've used, so I can't compare it to anything. The only thing I would say as a word of warning, if you're shopping for a baby monitor, is to not get one that connects to Wi-Fi. There have been, and I don't think that this is just a fear-mongering thing, but there have been accounts of baby monitors being hacked over Wi-Fi so that other people can actually watch your baby sleeping and even talk into the monitor. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, thank God we don't have one that is connected to Wi-Fi. And the infant optics is supposed to be immune from being hacked, I guess I've heard. Okay, baby carriers. This could be a whole video unto itself. I am a passionate baby wearer. In the very beginning, I used a Sakura Bloom ring sling when baby was just super tiny. However, as baby got bigger, I just really, I don't know, I struggled a lot with slinging. Slinging is hard. There's a really steep learning curve to it, but I persisted and I'm so happy I did because I switched to a Wild Bird chambray sling. Now I sling all the time. It is the easiest way to do errands, quick to and from, if I need to just carry baby out to the car or into the post office. Super easy, but you do have to practice and get the hang of it. I never liked the Sakura Bloom linen ring sling, but I do really like the Wild Bird chambray sling. Again, it's gonna be such personal preference, and unfortunately, it's just a lot of trial and error. I would recommend looking up to see if your city has a local baby wearing meetup group where you can go try things before you buy them. So I'm actually gonna resell the Sakura Bloom ring sling on the Buy, Trade, Sell Sakura Bloom Facebook page. I'm gonna try and sell that. I would like to invest in a Sakura Bloom simple silk sling. So that's on the wish list. We also picked up an Infantino soft structured carrier. It's like $30, $35. A lot of baby carriers like the Ergo and the Babywearing, they're expensive. They're like $100+. The Infantino was great because I just wanted to see how we did with a soft structured carrier. That ended up turning into Cobb's carrier. It's really nice if both parents are gonna wear the baby to have one that's his and one that's yours, because readjusting them every time you wanna wear the baby is a huge pain in the butt. So I ended up investing for myself in a Sakura Bloom Simple Silk Scout, which I love. It's technically a half buckle carrier. It has like a shoulder or chest strap, depending if you're forward wearing or back wearing, and a belt. It's like a buckle around the waist, like sash. Very adjustable, super comfortable. I think they go up to 35 pounds. You can carry a baby up to 35 pounds in them. Love Babywearing. If there's interest, I'll do a whole video on like Sling tutorial or like talking about Babywearing. I absolutely love it. I do have a sound machine, which I was sort of, I don't know, I have a lot to say, I guess, about baby sleep in general. I didn't think I was gonna want a white noise machine, but I am glad that we have one, and I think it helps. We have a Dome, D-O-H-M. The Domes are usually the sound machines that will be outside of therapist's office, for example. I think it really does help. If you are on the go, this was extremely helpful to me. Someone in Instagram stories let me know about it. It's an app called Guva, G-U-V-A. This was so helpful when Baby Lamore never had technically colic, but all babies, I think, go through a real fussy phase between like 4, 6, 8 weeks. So on the presets, there is a baby colic setting, and it's white noise with almost like a heartbeat sound underneath. I would turn this way, way up, turn the Wi-Fi off on my phone, and stick it into the, like, right next to baby in the car seat. Like if I was going to pelvic floor physical therapy starting at about 6 weeks. So I would bring baby with me and put that app on. Baby would sleep the whole time in the car seat while I did my pelvic floor physical therapy. Having a bouncer chair is a nice place to put baby. I never had to buy one because, again, we had 2 hand-me-down bouncer chairs that I freaking hated, but the baby loved. So I don't even know what brand. I think one of them was like a Fisher Price. Never had a rock and play. I know people like those, but we never had one. If I had to buy a baby bouncer chair on my own, I would either get the Nuna Leaf or the Babywearing. Having an activity play mat is really, really nice too. That's where there's like the dangling stuff. They tend to size out of them right around 6 months. We've now transitioned to like a large open play mat, or you could use foam tiles. I just didn't like the materials that are often used to make those. So I have a baby care play mat now, but the activity mat we had for 0 to 6 months was a Hiccapop. It's a very ubiquitous brand. There's often coupons to get, you know, a lot of percentage off on Bye Bye Baby and things like that. I know a lot of people like the Love Every playmat, but that stuff is just, it's kind of expensive. Monty Kids and Love Every, they do Montessori inspired baby subscription toy boxes and play accoutrements, so that's another option. I just was kind of not that into it, but I am very into implementing Montessori type things at home. Again, a whole other video. Speaking of toys and stimulation, some of the first things I bought as far as that, and we actually got a lot of use out of, were these baby art cards. These are the brand We Gallery, and this is the Woodland collection. Baby loved these. So babies can only see in black and white in the very beginning. These were actually Baby Lamore's Christmas present. They're really just like high contrast images, and I would just kind of, yeah, do like little baby art gallery. You can set them up like next to them. Yeah, they're just really nice. I'm really happy we had these as a first form of visual stimulation. And then having a soft rattle is really nice too. This is the brand Chingu. I just got a little bunny rattle. We still use this. Baby uses it for teething. I did not go crazy with toys. I still don't. I try and be super intentional. Again, that could be a whole other video. Babywearing could be a whole other video. Introducing solids and my philosophy on that. Making baby food is a video. Early education Montessori playtime structuring is a whole other video. So if there's interest in that stuff, I think it's very niche since this is primarily a beauty channel. Oh my gosh, what a marathon video. This was much longer than I thought it was going to be, but I hope that you found it useful. Please let me know what other sort of baby parenting related content you might be interested in. If this is not your jam, I totally get it. I haven't done a favorites video in a long time, but I think I'm actually going to do a favorites podcast. So I'm gonna pre-record some podcasts before I put them out onto all of the podcasting platforms. If there's other recommendations you would like to share in the comments just for the community here that you think would be helpful, I'm sure everybody is all ears. I am all ears. I'm always learning. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video really soon. Bye.